Coming up on River City Presents is a brand new band in town called Costume Contest, and we're going to have one later. Stay with us. Welcome to River City Presents. I'm Daniel Hurd. We're on a different location this time as usual. We're at Inner Fire Photos, thanks to Josh and Lana Cornelius. Special thanks to them. And of course, Shelby Preklas of Loud and Clear Studios, also here in Paducah, for doing the sound tonight. Costume Contest is a brand new band just since last November. They played a few shows, but they're very rock and roll. They sound like garage rock from the 60s. Little Brian Jonestown, little Dandy Warhols, all the classic hits from the 60s. But before we talk to a couple of folks in the band, we're going to hear from them. So, ladies and gentlemen, Costume Contest.
She's my overachiever.
Welcome back. I'm joined by frontman and vocalist Dan Yocum and Annie Hughes, bass guitarist from the band. Welcome.
Well,
Thank you for having us on.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of your music since the beginning. I saw y'all play. The first time I saw you, I messaged my associate producer, JT Crawford, and said, man, I got to get these guys costume contest. And lucky us, they knew who you were. So
Beautiful.
JT knew you all, so we made it work. So tell us a little bit at first, whoever would like to take this, how'd y'all get started?
Well, you can, I think, start this one out.
Yeah, I was at the Silver Bullet actually with a group of my friends.
It all starts at the Silver Bullet.
Yeah, everything always starts at the Silver
starts at the
Bullet.
Silver
All the
Yeah.
greatest projects
Yeah.
of Paducah begin
The
at
Silver Bullet,
True.
yeah. And we were just sitting outside smoking, talking about music, and there's that guy in the pink wig sitting at the other table, just strolls up. Y'all talking about music? I write songs, and then shows us Meth Anthem. Actually, was the
One of the
thing
songs
that-
y'all play, yeah.
Yeah, and he read it off to us, and I was like, let's start a fucking band.
Yeah,
right
sounds
now.
like a band, doesn't it?
Yeah, that is a band.
So you got back to town. I understand pre-interview that you came from Nashville, so you just got
That's
back.
right. I had just a month prior moved back and was just out with my mom for a night at the Silver Bullet. And then I'm that guy at the bar that'll just walk up to you drunkenly and read his poetry to you.
Volunteer.
And that's what happened.
Exactly what
And it
happened.
led to this, fortunately or
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Well, tell us who else is in the band, too, because
yeah.
I met the two of you. You've got a really great guitar player, a really great drummer. I understand one of them's your cousin, right?
That's right. Yeah, John Yocum is my cousin. And we originally started out with a friend, Joseph, as drummer. And I don't know, we just, eventually, I don't know, I think he saw himself as more of a producer role for us.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And he's producing our record now.
And he's doing amazing. He's completely
it's
killing it.
Unbelievable, really.
I'm really glad that he's reintegrated
Yeah,
with the
absolutely.
creation of the music.
But yeah, so when we realized that, I just immediately thought of John. I mean, from the get-go, really, I was just like, man, it would be great if John were available or free, you know, but he's probably a little busy. But I called him up and he said, absolutely, I'm in.
Man,
yeah.
on guitar, you have, who else you got?
Jake
we have,
Weaver.
yeah, Jake Weaver.
Yeah. I had a group of people over at my house, including Daniel.
Yeah.
We were just jamming, playing guitar. All we had was guitars and basses there. And my friend had brought Jake over, and this was the first time any of us had met him. This was like a couple weeks after the band formed. We were like, hey, do you play an instrument? And he said, well, I play drums, but we were like, oh, there's no drums. So we just keep going, and like a couple hours into hanging out, he just picks up a guitar and starts soloing better than I've ever heard
wait.
anyone.
Since November.
Yeah.
So
No, that was when
That
was
was in November.
Was it in November?
That was when the official band really started.
Yeah.
Was when he is the start of the band, really.
so
was
he never
meeting
played
Jake.
guitar before that?
He did, but he was on drumline in high school and middle school, so he just viewed himself as a drummer.
Well, he's amazing and
It's
talented.
incredible.
You
I
all are
couldn't believe
talented,
it.
but
The
I mean,
moment
like,
he started, I was like, you're in the band and you're gonna play guitar. And I was initially the guitarist, but he's obviously way better than
But
me.
you yourself, you play bass, but that hadn't been your thing, right? So
No.
tell me about that. You played piano before?
Yeah, I started off on piano for 15 or 16 years now.
Uh-huh.
And then about 6 or 7 years ago, I picked up guitar, but I always kind of stuck to acoustic. I wasn't very familiar with electric, and I wasn't familiar at all with bass. It just was never something I pictured myself doing. But now, learning and playing bass for the band,
Yeah.
it's really exciting because it's like learning a new instrument for the first time in forever.
So you never played bass before you played with the band?
No, but I really like the groove of it. I
Yeah.
feel like I can express myself the best.
Do you
I guess
all
my
hear
instrument.
this? This is amazing to me. I played saxophone in high school. You know, I've talked to you all. I said I might show up at some point and play with you guys in the band. At
And
some
we're
point.
we're waiting.
But yes, I'll get around to a little saxophone layering in there. But but I played in high school. But man, I just can't imagine picking up an instrument like that.
Yeah. Well, Johnny even hadn't played drums in a really long time, so
Years,
Daniel
I
had
think.
never been a lead singer. I mean, he'd been writing poetry for a while, but all of us are kind of like, it's either our second instrument or it had been a while.
Well, let me ask, is it hard to make the transition from something like piano, or maybe not with guitar, but is it a hard transition going from guitar to bass?
In the beginning, it definitely was. you can kind of tell in some of the songs which ones I wrote earlier on because they're a lot more simple. But it's, like I said, it's been super exciting because when there's something I can't do or something that's kind of out of my skill level,
Right.
I am able to like get better and watch myself improve. Which, like I said, it's been 6 years since I've learned a new instrument, so I'm like,
That's
oh
just
look, I can do it now.
so cool. And the fact that, Dan, you're frontman, I've got to ask, and people are going to want to know after seeing the show, what's up with the wig, man? I love it.
Well, thank you. It started out as just like I was going on tour with this band, Liz Cooper. They were Liz Cooper and the Stampede at that time. Now they're Liz Cooper, I think. But I was touring with them just through West Coast tours, northern tours, some into Canada, and I just started picking up wigs and throwing them on, and they were super behind it, and finally I just put on a pink one, and I haven't taken it off. It's been like
So
3 years.
you went through a variation of different ones and landed on the pink one. But it fits the vibes that y'all have, the aesthetic, the band themselves, very, 60s garage rock, 70s sort of flamboyant themes, which I love. I mean, I've come myself in a 70s wardrobe here, so.
Absolutely. I mean, we love, a lot of the same music, I think. I love just that early 70s stuff.
I think
all those
visually-
influences, and that's just boils out of me as a human being, I think. Like,
Somebody
Pink Wig was
compared
gonna
us
happen.
to the New York Dolls at one point. It might have been you. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
could have
But
been.
that was very accurate, I think, especially for Daniel with what he wears.
What about but the sounds that influenced you all? Like, so that's the kind of bands that would influence you. Who do you all listen to when you were thinking about the kind of sound you wanted? What did you all go? Oh, we kind of want to be like somebody? Or
Well,
were
it
you-
was really a union of influences. So
And it's
Jake
just
came
all
from
over
a
the
very
board.
90s place with some Alice in Chains, some Sublime, and some things like that. And that's just not stuff that I'd really listened to. And he hadn't really listened to any of the stuff that I'd been listening to. Like Lou Reed, New York Doll, anything like Velvet Underground, all that stuff.
Oh man,
that whole
so
world.
good. Yeah.
It's so good, and it's a whole world that I think that 90s kind of sound merging with the 70s thing.
I think that
with
the one
kind of-
the one connecting band that we all listened to and were fans of was the Doors, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the Doors.
Yeah,
I think
like
that
me
was a
and-
common
Right.
Good, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, me and Jake are very 90s, like the Toadies, Cake. We also kind of get into some outlaw country,
Yeah.
which
Oh, we
kind
do,
of
yeah.
influences the band, really. We have a couple songs that have that vibe.
And I
But
said,
the Doors was really the center point.
yeah, I said Moby Grape, which has, Graham Parsons country style kind of elements, and
Sure.
and I think anybody who listens to your music, what they've heard already and will hear, I think that will all shine through. And does that come through with songwriting? How does the songwriting process work for you guys? You're a poet yourself. Do you do a lot of it and share it with the band, or how does it?
Yeah, so as far as the lyricism goes, I pen that, and then we kind of I just pen. I can't. It's just a compulsion. I have to do it every single day, multiple times a day, and we'll get together once a week or once or twice a week, and then Jake will introduce maybe a riff that he thought of, while he was working, and then I'll just start singing out some of the stuff I've been writing, and then we'll.
So it's a very
song.
collective effort. So
Yeah.
not just with the songwriting, but if there's a riff that's cool or something that sounds good, you share it with the band.
Oh,
and
yeah.
If they like it, you just make it work, right?
Yeah, we just build
And
off of
it could be me
individual
rewriting a little
ideas.
bit around that riff, or Jake rewriting a little bit around my lyrics, and we just kind of, we just play with it.
And
have,
yeah, Jake is amazing too at like hearing lyrics and immediately picking the riff to fit with that vibe. It's incredible how well he can match those things.
He's got a good cinematic sensibility to him. He's he scores the songs, I feel. And
Yeah,
That's-
and me and Jake and Daniel live together, so we have a lot of time to just
So
sit
you're
around
working together all the time.
all the time,
Yeah.
like basically every day. But Johnny doesn't, he only sees us and hears the music when we meet up, and it's incredible how well he can just pick up on it. Like
So it's
we'll
like
just start playing, and he'll just do it
So
as
you're
we're
just
playing.
like a music recording studio going on in the house all the time.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just always creative influences. Well, what about the themes of the music that everybody's hearing? What can you talk about that? Tell us a little bit about Any overall themes to look forward to?
Sure. I mean, maybe I don't know if look forward to the themes that our songs deal with. But,
Yeah, I was gonna say
like,
most of it's pretty pessimistic. We don't have a lot of.
I don't know. It's
We don't have a lot of
enjoy
happy
it,
stuff.
there's some pessimism, there's some nihilism, there's some indulgence, there's like all sorts of. But the
Hedonism.
ultimate theme, I would say, for me and my art that I create is generally somehow boils down to the excesses that we as Americans indulge in. So a kind of American excess, and I think that comes through in the lyricism to you know, maybe taking love to an excess, taking drugs to an excess, taking
Sort of the distractions that everybody sort of seeks out.
absolutely, yeah.
Sort of the same things that you see in the 60s too. I mean, that's funny. It's like Meet the New Boss, same as the old boss. The story's the same. It doesn't really matter what time it is. Some of the same problems that plague us,
Right.
whether it's the 60s or today. I really like the Doors comparison because of the strong vocals too. Do you lean a lot toward Jim Morrison as an influence? Like when you think about your own vocal style, who do you like? Sounds like such a 60s, who do you look to for the kids?
Yeah.
But you know.
I would say Father John Misty is a huge vocal influence for him.
That's a big vocal influence. I would say, I think Lou Reed is probably the biggest in the sense that I just like how he plays with negative space when he's with his vocal delivery. He'll drag something out and then bring it back, but at the end of the day, it feels like it's a guy who has been through what you've been through just talking to you.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Some of those live shows, you really get that with the Velvet Underground kind of thing too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Also, can you tell me about the dollhouse that we got here? What's the story of this?
Yes, so this is a painting series I've been working on for a while. I'm a painter by day, and so this is a series that I've been working on for a while, which kind of plays into with what I pair it with, juxtapose the Barbie houses with, kind of the American excess themes. So
You have the Barbie movie playing or something right there, maybe. I don't know.
it's my favorite movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
But so generally speaking, you're an artist and a painter. What kind of art do you do? Can you tell us a little bit about some of the pieces you did? I know there's one that's got Paris Hilton in it, right?
Sure, yeah. There's like celebrity plays into it. Sure, but yeah, it's a very if anyone knows Cy Twombly or Jean-Michel Basquiat, Warhol, any of those guys, Julian Schnabel, a lot of 80s abstract expressionist painters are where I kind of draw my inspiration lyrically and from the paintings.
Of course, yeah. Before we get back to it and let you play the rest of your set, I wanted to ask, so as far as streaming or releases go, do you have plans for any of that anytime soon, or is it already out there?
I'll let you take this
we
one.
have a single that we're just about finished working on, and once this episode airs, it'll be the same day that we release the single.
Coinciding.
Yep, on all streaming platforms.
Well, that sounds exciting. Thank you all. It means a lot to me that you came on the show. And
Thank you
like
for
I
having
say,
us.
when I first saw the band play, y'all play, I wanted to have you on. And I love all the groups that have ever come on. But when I heard that, I was like 60s rock and roll mixed with some 90s grunge. I love it. You can't ask for
Could be
anything
worse.
better.
Could be worse.
But we'll let you get back to it. We'll be right back with more Costume Contest.
Someone pissed in the gene pool. Someone's paying the price. Ha! I've been praying to Jeffrey. A low rent, Jesus Christ. I've been smoking heroin with bleeding passes like a kidney stone. Well, you know that life, it has no meaning. And everyone, well, you know, we all die alone. Ooh. I've been smoking heroin with Rachel. I've been smoking heroin with Rachel. I've been smoking heroin with Rachel. I've been smoking heroin with, Millicent likes to hide the keys to the new car. Little bizarre. She found him one night digging a grave in the backyard. He asked her to push him in and toss down. He said you get caught and he said, I'm having a good day. Yeah, I'm having a good day. Yeah, I'm having a good day. His head. Get up on his scale, the shit out of all of his friends. Oh, this thing along this long, this bread. Yeah, I'm having a good day. 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 I'm having a good day. I'm having a good day. Mushrooms are kicking in. Hey, you can call it crystal meth, call it ice, or call it Tina. You can call it what you want. Well, I call it nice to meet ya. The meth got to his head. Well, that's what the doctor said. But every time I take a hit, I jump right out of bed. day from yesterday was slipping through my fingers. Cruised down to the Shell station to score a Grand Martina. My man said you could blow. Yeah, I think so. In the paper bag, take it easy, there you go. If I run a couple red lights, I'll be back home in 5. Just got one stop along the way, a pipe and some cheap wine. All the stories I could dream of, all the lyrics I could think of. I'd rather stop today, so I wrote this song on Tina.
That was Costume Contest, and that's our show. I want to thank Shelby Preklas for doing the audio from Loud and Clear, and Josh and Lana Cornelius of Inner Fire Photos here at the studio. We hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching.